Deb from Dare to Be You with some simple spirituality for a great life. So we have had lots of questions recently about relationships, love, trust, and kind of understanding self-love, which has led us to create a 5-day free challenge, which we're doing in July, all around self-love. So we thought what we would talk about a little bit today is why we see there's an importance around self-love.
Okay, so when I first came to simple spirituality for a great life, I was incredibly lost and I didn't really know who I was. I had lost my sense of, what colour I liked, what food I liked, and all of those kinds of things. I just lost that sense of who I was. And looking in the direction of that, who am I, what colours do I like, what things do I like, led me to this place of understanding something much deeper around the truth of who I am. And I really, really like kind of going back and visiting those places and seeing what it was that brought me to where I am now. And I don't think that it's ever a bad thing to revisit those steps that we took in those early days that brought us to this place now of really enjoying our life, having great fun, being out, bold and daring is how we love to describe our life now, living in that way. And I think it all started with looking in this direction around self-love. So that is why we've created this challenge. This is why, as much for us really as anyone else, it's great to be reminded, isn't it?
Yeah, and the idea for me of self-love is not so much a prescription as it is an exploration of who we actually are. Sorry. We're people that can do videos even when the phone rings. It's really about exploring what self-love is, what self is there to love. And for me, definitely, I had some major insights around kind of self-love and how I hadn't loved myself or liked myself for a long time. And the more I started to look in the direction and explore kind of how I could love myself and why I would love myself and what is there to love about me, the more I kind of came across the truth of who self and who I was. And actually, it's far deeper. And there's far more to it than just the kind of Becky you see on the screen. And then what kind of came for me as a natural byproduct of seeing that deeper truth was that I really saw there was just no reason not to love who I was, both in the kind of human version of who I am,
absolutely,
and the kind of spiritual depth to where this can go. And the more I loved myself, the more I became true to who I was, and just so many things changed for me. And definitely something about playing it as a game, like get out there and try. So we're doing challenges and we do that because there is something about being out there playing the game that makes a difference. And you were telling a great story this morning about, I can't remember the chap's name.
Oh yeah, it's gone. His name's gone from me. Buckminster Fuller.
That's him.
Yeah, I can remember a long time ago coming across his story, and if you get the chance, go and look this man up, Buckminster Fuller. He was an amazing man, and he came to a place in his life. I can't remember the details of his story because it was a long time ago, but his wife and his child had died, and he was just at a place of absolute despair. And he decided to commit suicide because there was just nothing left for him. So he tried, and this wasn't a cry for help. This was an absolute attempt at suicide, but it failed, and he lived. So he actually decided that if he had lived, he would dedicate his life to seeing what good he could do in the world. In what way could he change the world? Because there was just nothing riding on this. For him, he was done. Life was finished. Life was over. And he kind of looked around and thought, well, what good could I do to the world then if I'm still here? And I just love that idea. And I think, we don't have to get to a place of despair. We don't have to go to those places to see what good can we do in the world as human beings. And that could be, just a good thing with the person that you love the most, your child, somebody you care about, or it could go as far as to change, the whole world. What we do when we get out into the world from a place of a realization about something deeper about ourselves it's amazing amazing, it's magical.
Yeah.
And it absolutely starts with, you know, those things when we look in the mirror and think, oh, my hair's not right, or I'm not good enough, or I can't do this. And this challenge that we're setting up, this 5-day challenge, which we would absolutely love you to join in, is kind of just exploring that and just seeing what there is to see when we actually stop and look in the direction of who actually are we, and what does it mean to begin to love ourselves as we are, this body, just as it is now.
Yeah. And there's really something, as you explore that, around seeing that it's important to love yourself, and then coming to an understanding of there is no self to love. And those two things, like we often talk in these videos about a place of balance, and for me that's where those two meet. Like, I am happy to be loving towards myself and kind towards myself and compassionate with myself, and then I see there is no self to need those things, and then as a byproduct of seeing that, I'm doing those things anyway. And it just kind of flows back and forwards, and I'm in this space of balance when I'm seeing that. So that's hugely what this, why self-love is important to us, is because for me it's playing that game like Buckminster Fuller, getting out there with nothing riding on the out. He hadn't, as far as he was concerned, he had nothing left in the world, so it mattered not at all. And from that space, he, I mean, some of the stuff you said, he invented and created and brought change into the world. Incredible.
He was an amazing man. It's worth looking at him. And you said something the other day, Bec, that really kind of hit home, and it's exactly this is what we're pointing to, and I think you know what I'm saying. Go on.
I do. Be the change you wish to see in the world, whilst knowing that no change is required.
And that's the beautiful extra bit, isn't it? We've all heard that, be the change we want to see. And then it's like, oh, I've got to strive and I've got to do this, coming from a really, really difficult place within us. And what we're pointing to is, you don't need to kind of invoke your willpower and be strong, be like this. You can be the change you want to be in the world from a place of knowing that there's nothing riding on it, and have fun with that and play it. So definitely we're about to have a lot of fun with this, aren't we?
Yeah. So thank you very much for joining us.
Speak to you soon. Bye. For now.